So I'll walk you through step by step how to change, how to replace the evaporator, air conditioning evaporator on this 1998 to 2000, I think it goes to all the way to 2009 Ford Ranger. It applies also to the Explorer. I accelerated some of the steps here. I loosened up a lot of parts, and I'll also come up with a video to show you how to put things back again step by step. You're gonna have to remove your air intake partially, and you have to remove the radiator coolant tank together with the washer fluid. You have to remove also the cruise control servo motor, and once you get all them removed, then you'll be able to work on your evaporator. I'm sorry, the dryer, accumulator dryer. And then you're gonna be able to loosen up all the bolts holding up the enclosure where the evaporator sits. You have one bolt here, and you got another bolt which I already removed. I'm pointing it through, and there's one below that I can't show you with the camera, but it's down there. It's down there somewhere, besides the one that is inside the truck. I'll show you where it is. Most people miss this one, and it's under the passenger seat, and where they put the passenger rests his feet. It's this one right here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to proceed to remove it. It's already loosened up. You remove that up, and you'll be able to pull it from the front. So, as I say, you start disconnecting lines. You loosen up the clamp. Then you get your intake out, your air filter out, and then you loosen up your air, cruise control servo motor, and you push it to the side. As a matter of fact, you saw the plug fell off because I already had it loosened up. Then now is a good moment to start unplugging stuff. All sensors. You pull those harnesses to the side. Then you loosen up this guy right here, the low pressure sensor for the AC. I already had it loosened up. You put that away because you need it for later. If you're not replacing it, just keep it. And then now you can proceed, as I said, loosen up these bolts here. The ones that are on the top, they're pretty handy. Loosen up this nut here from the top of the accumulator, and unclip. There was a clip here. You pull the clip out. I already disconnected this hose. Put it to the side. Disconnect the hose at the bottom. Push them to the side. Now once you got them in that position, you have to unstrap the dryer. It's got a strap on the side here. Can't see it. You'll undo the bolts, and you can pull the whole thing out. And in my case, I already got a new one, so I don't have to worry about this one. You're supposed to replace it anyway every time you open up the system. So now we are down to this bolt here, which I'm going to remove. It was holding the whole place, the whole assembly in place. And got to make sure the vacuum lines are disconnected. Sometimes they're strapped into the holes. Gotta make sure this other vacuum line is out of the way. And now the whole thing is loose, ready to come out. Now the only thing in the way now, it would be these tanks right here, which they're gonna be removed and to get it out. Removing the coolant reservoir, kind of tricky. It's got two bolts. One goes here, already removed, and the other one in the back here. See if you can see. And there's one nut that goes down here in that hole right there. And there's one other one which is quite difficult to reach because the actual air filter enclosure here is in the way, and it's quite difficult to remove. It's not bolted, it's actually pressed down into these rubber grommets, which I don't want to disturb them. I don't want them to fall apart. So the easiest thing to do here to access that bolt down there, which is down there, so you see it now, it would be to drill a hole here large enough, matching that bolt, so I can work it here with a socket. This one, it wouldn't affect anything because this is the bottom part of the air filter. As a matter of fact, you see dirt down here. Air filter goes here, and then the air gets filtered up. So that wouldn't actually make any difference in performance or affect the engine at all. So I'm going to proceed to drill that. I got my drill ready with a drill bit, and then I'll make the hole. So just gotta remove the little flap of plastic there. And voila, there's the bolt. Now you can proceed to remove it. Perfect round hole, and it'll be useful to, in the future, you need to remove the radiator coolant tank again. Now you got to disconnect the coolant hose. Keep it as high as you can. And now you got the tank out. Now you got plenty of room to deal with that evaporator enclosure. You can pull it out. Before you attempt to move it, just make sure you got all plugs out, fan plug out. This other plug down here, which is a little difficult to get out. Now I got access to it finally, after a long struggle, and all the lines out of the way. And once you got all that, and you see these two hoses, see, I didn't want to remove this, I didn't want to disturb these two heater hoses, so you're gonna have to swivel the whole unit around it to pull it up. Yeah, once you disconnected that plug right down here, which was very hard to access, you have to disconnect also these lines, these vacuum lines. And I recommend the best thing to do, the easiest way, is actually go here and disconnect there. That's one is disconnected out of the way. And the second one goes down here to the vacuum reservoir. Just plug it out. Now the whole thing is free now. It's ready to be pulled out. Make sure you don't catch any of the plugs of the harnesses so you don't break anything. As you can tell, I've been rotating it. I pulled it up this way, swiveled it, cleared all the spark plug wires. I didn't want to disturb the spark plug wires. And now you can actually pull it out. This is not an easy task. You gotta be patient and just don't break or crush anything. This is what it's supposed to look after you're done. This is the bottom bolt I told you at first when we first started. Actually, I forgot to tell you to disconnect these lines here, the vacuum lines from the inside. You almost gotta like hang up, upside down in order to see them. Now it's a good time to clean. See all the debris there. You can blow air this way, but do not blow air that way. Just on this side, because the window is closed and that window is open, and that will blow it right into under the dashboard stuff. It's a good time right now to clean everything up, and then we'll go through the process of putting the new evaporator in this baby. So now we're back to replacing everything back. And once you put your plugs down here, electrical plug for the speed control, fan speed control is actually called, and the one for the fan. Now you're good to go to put the make sure the two vacuum lines are not caught down there with anything. Supposed to connect them back again where they belong, where you took them off, which I'm going to do later. I'm not going to connect them down because that might be in the way. Anyway, the bolt that goes up here, the bolt that goes the other side here in the firewall, and the one that goes down there, which I'm going to see if I can show it to you. There it is. Now that one is going to be a mission to get to it, and for that I got a little hack, because the placing, my hands don't fit, my arm doesn't fit back down there. So this nut is going to be on this long extension, which I'm going to stick through there, through that space, but I'm afraid I'm going to lose the nut. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold it down to a little piece of electrical tape to the actual socket, and then that should be good. Yeah, when you're doing this, make sure you don't obstruct the actual hole, and make sure that the socket is dry. This has no oil in it, and it should be okay. Turn it backwards so you don't start it. You don't put it in the wrong position. Okay. Just don't over torque it.
Now you can grab your ratchet and it's a job that requires patience. If you are in a hurry, you're not gonna achieve a lot. Because all you're gonna get is frustration. Well, hopefully now my socket will come back out when I retrieve the extension. That should be good. Yeah, it came out. That's a good thing. Now that you have it in this position, you already torqued the one down there. You should take care of the one inside the cab. Same socket. The only difference is we're not going to need that. We'll need the long extension or the tape. That one down here, this guy right here that we did at the beginning, took off, removed at the beginning. That's the one that first placed to hold the whole unit and be able to actually doing everything one-handed. I only have, unfortunately, two hands. Again, don't over torque it. That's an 11mm deep socket, by the way. It's when you feel that you got to the end, you just a little bit. It should take about 5 pounds. I mean, yeah, by 3 to 5 foot-pounds. That should be all right now. Okay, now this is secure. You can continue now placing everything else. They would the next part will be like the dryer right here, accumulator dryer. But before you get to that one, you want to be comfortable doing this, replacing everything that you loosened up in order to move this guy out of there. So you got to put your bolt down here again, big bolt, and the other one that goes here, place them in there, and then that way you can actually reattach your dipstick for the transmission dipstick and continue with the installation of the dryer accumulator. If you can tell, I still got capped the ends. This is a brand new evaporator, so I want to keep it clean. I actually missed this part where the I replaced the orifice tube. Is in there. Let me show you. Let me see if the camera can capture. That's a brand new. That's a brand new orifice tube. So this baby's ready. I kept it. I lost the cap, so I taped it. I don't want any debris coming in the system. I got to put a brand new oil ring right here, which I already got them. Then I got to replace all these oil rings, and then at the end, when I get everything assembled, then I'll vacuum the system for a good while. I check all the lines if they have any leaks. Okay, so here we got the two bolts. that hold this bracket for the hoses. The big one, the bigger one goes right here. And I can't find the hole right now. One-handed, I'm supposed to move this thing up, but that's where it belongs. And the smaller one goes here, and this hole right here. And you gotta find the hole, align it up, and thread it in and torque it. And then after that, you can remove this nut here and replace the transmission dipstick to its place. Now putting back where they belong, the brackets that hold the accumulator dryer. It could be a little tricky if you don't remember exactly how they go. This point here where it holds the bolt here attached to that, and you gotta pull out your shield here. That don't put that bolt in it yet. The thing is bolted all around, but that one goes here in this top corner, and there's a hole here, and you see the mark here on the shield. That's where it belongs. That's where you bolt your bracket, right there and right there. Again, this is how it's supposed to look, and then you can tighten down the two bolts there. And then once you're done here, which you're gonna need a crescent wrench, little wrench, that's an 8mm bolt right there. Then you can actually pull back and put the one that holds the shield together. If you notice, I haven't placed back on his faulty transmission dipstick yet. It'll be after actually I place this bracket, because it will be in the way. Remember to replace all rings. This is the original one that was on the old evaporator. We're gonna match the same size. I already found it. It matches this one right here. That's the same old ring. You put a brand new old ring, and before you slide it in there, I'm gonna put some pag oil. Make sure it's lubricated. It's wet in here. Not only the purpose that slides in, it's supposed to lubricate the old ring on the outside too. So when you push the evaporator, this part of the evaporator, I'm sorry, the dryer, which I haven't uncovered yet, by the way, make a note of this. Do not on the new one, do not uncover the plugs. This is vacuum from the factory. You don't want to contaminate with humidity, so keep the plugs on. And that's the last thing you want to do. It's got to be mounted in the brackets, ready to be bolted. So by that time, you're supposed to have your O-ring and everything set up. So that will be the only time where you want to remove the plugs, the manufacturer's plugs from the dryer, accumulator dryer.
once you check the whole entire system and you perform the vacuum, I recommend about 20 minutes of vacuum, no less than that, so you would know that everything, the whole entire system is good to go, you got no leaks. Then actually you start charging it. If you don't need any oil, because you know you didn't lose much oil, like in my case, I didn't see much, but even though I added about an ounce of oil, and now I charge to the proper pressure. You don't want to go on a day like today. Right now it's 85 degrees, so you don't want to go higher than 40 on the low side. And starting to cool off real nice. Compressor cycling is steady. And when you go inside the truck, feel cold air. Couldn't find my actual temperature gauge. I have one that you put it on the vent right there, and it shows you the temperature should be blowing between 45, no higher than 48 degrees, but it feels pretty nice, pretty cold. And I would say this is the end of a video. Just make sure you follow through details and do not cut any corners, and have a good day.